Rocket Lab got a $397 million contract to build and launch Flatellites. I love that term.
Yep.
For U.S. Space Force's Space-Based Airborne Moving Target Indicator Program. That is a mouthful, but so is $397 million. So, hey, I'll spout that mouthful all day long for that money.
Right. Yeah. We talked about this last week or the week before. Maybe it was Monday last week early. What I thought was really interesting was this photo of, they're calling it Flatellites. That's kind of a lame-o term. I'm calling them IKEA sets because that tells the story, right? That tells the story. IKEA.
But there's no guy out there with that little, that little tool that comes with the IKEA thing, trying to screw that thing in,
Yep. The little wrench and the Allen wrench.
Little wrench.
Yeah. But I think this is super cool, and this is overdue tech as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
So they started working on this about last year. Remember when we had our first interview with Dr. Mark Levinson about the box, and we started talking about standardization? Beck and his team came out with the Flatelite IKEA sat just a few weeks after that conversation. So,
well, and that's what got spit out of Starship 13, essentially.
Similar.
Top of the arc, they were spitting out little Flatelite things, like 20 of them.
Yep. New form factor, pretty cool stuff. $400 million. Good job, Rocket Lab. Barely moved their stock though. It's down.
Yeah.
So I don't understand the stock market anymore. I'm just gonna admit that. I don't understand how they make the decisions that they make.
No.
But cool. All right, moving on.
Not to be outdone, the EU is spending $18 billion for their own satellite constellation plan. I guess just a Spanish firm got a key role with them. And the first launches are slated for 2029. And so this is supposed to be the beginning of their answer to Starlink.
Right.
They call it Infrastructure for Resilience, Interconnectivity, and Security by Satellite, IRIS-2. And so I know IRIS-2, they just added a whole bunch of new satellites to that plan. Just the other day, they made an announcement about that, which I did not include here for obvious reason. But again, it's more about the sovereignty thing.
Yeah, I mean, how many times can you say sovereignty in the last year? The deal's tied to the Commission reaching an implementation agreement with Space Rise Consortium, made up of operators of Eutelsat from France, Hispasat in Spain, and SES Global in Luxembourg. Right.
That's why. Well, SES I figured, but Hispasat I know them too. So
yeah.
I
got to tour Hispasat at ISU all the way back in 2008. Fascinating organization.
Yeah.
Pretty neat stuff. Yeah.
Okay.
Their ground station element, that's what Hispasat was doing, was a lot of ground station when I was there. Valued at $1.85 billion. So 10% of this thing is the ground station.
Yeah.
Which I think we never talk about ground stations enough.
Which isn't bad when you think of it. Only 10% of it is going to the ground station. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Okay.
I am going to point out one more thing on this super quick. They're going to very low Earth orbit, and I've been talking about VLEO for months now. I am convinced that VLEO is the ultimate destination, that all rocket companies will optimize for VLEO, because there's enough movement in the cyclers and the tugs to get things from VLEO to anywhere else, or out to Lagrange or the moon. I think that's the beginning of that optimization stack. So it's really kind of cool to see my crystal ball being accurate. So it's just the start of it, but I think it's there.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool.